Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eye Girl 69. Today's January 25th. What's left of it? 30 minutes. Um, well, we made it through the storm. The last of the snow went out this morning. There's a little small system that's moving in from Colorado that might bring a small dusting through here in the early morning hours, but other than that, it's all gone. Um, The devastation it left behind in my area is nothing. Nothing. Um, I think a lot of people was prepared for it and made the necessary preparations. And but I don't watch TV, so I know there was probably a few car accidents out there throughout the city, metro area. But as far as like any here in my town, I hadn't heard anything. Even though there might have been a fender bender or two or a spin out or something, but nothing major. Now, DoorDash was running. Let's see, what's today? Today's Sunday. So, DoorDash was up and running on Friday when the storm hit. It was up and running yesterday for a short period of time, but then they shut it down because of the severity of the storm. And I thought it would be shut down longer, but they brought it back online today. But yet, because of the snow on the roads, side streets, and whatnot, I guess they don't have enough drivers in this area, so they were offering a lot of peak pay today. But and my job has closed. Uh, let's see, I think Friday night they stayed open till close, but last night we closed at 7, and Saturday night we closed at 7, and Sunday night we closed at 7. So I lost. For Saturday, I was scheduled to work 6 hours, and I ended up working 4. And today I was scheduled to work for 8 hours, and I ended up working 5. Well, Saturday was the end of the pay period, so going into this week, I'm already 3 hours shy of what I'm supposed to have. But I'm thinking maybe there's a possibility that I can either go in earlier tomorrow, try to make up a couple hours, because I'm scheduled to work 4 to 10:30 tomorrow night, but I don't know if they're closing at 7. If they do that, then I'm going to be going in around like 1 o'clock to 7 tomorrow night. Anyway, I checked my mail this morning before I left. I just opened it up and there was something in there. I guess I didn't look in there Saturday because of the storm and all that. I didn't think about it. Okay, the last time I got some Dutch Brothers stickers from that one girl that made them for me personally. She left one of the stickers out that I originally wanted, and I messaged her about it, and she said she would make it and send it to me. So there it is. It's the arcade. It has the Dutch Brother emblem on the side, and then it says Dutch. I think it says Dutch Bros up there on the top part. But I like it. It's cool because it's like, old arcade style game system. It's just cool. I love it. And then she said she sent me a couple other extra stickers along with that one. And let me see what these say. I don't know what it says on the back, but She has sent me a picture of this one. This was one that she designed herself. And it says Dutch Bros, like up on the hat part. And then it has a Dutch Brothers drink. And then it says cancer down there along the edge there. And then the other one was like a stamp one. It says 1999. And then it has the cancer logo, the 6-9. And then it has the cancer constellation. And it looks like a flower and a butterfly. But I guess it's supposed to represent like a stamp. So those, I got those today. So that's kind of cool. And then she sent me a pretty little card with this one too. And wrote in there, thanks again for your understanding. I hope you love this sticker as well. Let me know if you ever want any more. Cheyanne. P.S. Hope you love the something. P.S. Hope you love. I can't read exactly what she wrote. Kind of looks like she wrote those, but maybe she just. I think she was saying, hope you love those. But she might have added in the wrong word, I've made mistakes like that before too. Ooh. So I got off at 7 o'clock tonight and came home and basically just chilled out. I made me coffee. I've smoked some herbs. I've chilled out on YouTube, Facebook. I've talked to my daughter. I got to say goodnight to my grandchildren. Well, my grandson was already put down, but the girls was still up, so she called me so the girls could say goodnight to me. They had a pretty good day playing in the snow. They went out. Let's see. They went out today. I think. Oh, they went out yesterday and played in the snow too. And they're out of school tomorrow. Uh, but hopefully everything will get back into the swing of things come Tuesday. I'm off Tuesday. I'm going to try to DoorDash on Tuesday because I know the roads will be a little bit clearer. But it's not supposed to warm up to above freezing until Wednesday or Thursday. And it's only a slight chance that it'll go above freezing. And then the next day to come along that, we are going to be definitely above freezing, like close to 40, 45. I think it's going to be on February 1st or 2nd. And today's just the 25th, so we still have about another week to go before we see any real rise in temperatures enough to melt off all this snow that we got. Now, some people was measuring 10 inches in their yards. But I've also seen a thing saying that people measure the inches of snow wrong. So, the weatherman on the map basically showed our area to have received somewhere between 8 to 10 inches. And some people were saying we had about 10 inches. Some of the cities that further north than us received like at least 12 inches, a foot of snow. So, further south from us experienced, I think, more ice and sleet than we did. I know Dallas got hit really hard with ice. I've seen a couple of videos circulating around now There was this one girl. I guess she was a teenager of some sort, and she had some ice skates, and she was out in the middle of her street ice skating. So that's cool. And then other kids sledding down their ice covered streets. Me, when I was a little kid, I liked this kind of weather um, because it was a rarity here in Oklahoma growing up for snow. Uh, my state does not see snow every year during the winter. Sometimes it's just really cold, dreary, but with no precipitation. Um, and then there's other times that we get storms like the one we just went through that drops a whole bunch of snow on us, or ice, or sleet, or whatever, and devastates us for a few days. Now, I can, there's a handful of storms that I can remember being in here in Oklahoma. The first one was probably 1976, I think it was. January 76. Might have even been December of 75. But I was 6. And my dad must have been home from work because me and him was out in the front yard making a snowman. And my mom took pictures of it, and not on a cell phone, but with a regular camera that required the photos to be taken down to the photo mat, and you get your pictures back about a week or so later. I have a picture of me on Facebook in my personal album, Candy, uh, of that picture of me and my snowman. And we must have received a lot that year because it was big enough, it was enough for me to make a snowman, and there's still a lot of snow on the ground. My mother also spoke of a time, I think when I was around 2 or 3, so it would have been like in 71 or 72, where she said um, she basically slid into our front yard coming down the street, and I was in the car with her, and she slid into our front yard. She knew she wasn't going to make it, so she turned into the neighbor's driveway, knowing it was going to bring us into our front yard, and that's where she landed, and that's where she ended up. And she was able to get out and get me out and get us in the house, even though she said she slipped a couple of times. So I guess it was, it's probably about every 4 years because in the 80s, I met my first husband in December of 87, and we had a big snowstorm that year in December. Uh, Snow was on the ground for a good 2 or 3 weeks. I think we had a series of snowstorms that came through that hit us kind of like back to back or within a couple of days of each other that dropped a lot of snow on us. And I can remember because I lived in Yukon and my first husband, he lived in Moore. And on a normal dry day, the drive from my town to where he lived was probably about 30-minute drive, maybe 20, 25 minutes. And after the snow came, I went down there, drove in it, the snow, and it took me about 30 to 45 minutes. Not much difference, really. Uh, but it was all main roads, so the main roads are always plowed. The highways are always taken care of, usually within a short amount of time after a storm passes. Um, so we had a significant snowfall then. I'm trying to think of when I lived with Anthony, if we ever, I don't think we ever had another major snowfall that I can recall. And then I moved to Dallas in '94. And we moved to southeast Oklahoma in '96. Then we were back here in '97, '98. There might have been a little bit in '98. And then Kelsey was born in '99. December of '99. She was 10 months old, and I remember we had her bundled up in this really nice sweat outfit and had a jacket with it and everything. It was really cute. Took her out in the snow. She didn't want nothing to do with it. We tried to just stand her up, and she started squalling and bawling. And even with me just standing there holding her and her dad standing there holding her because we took pictures, she was crying. She didn't want nothing to do with it. I guess it was too cold for her blood. So we just hurried up and finished up taking a few pictures and went back inside. That was in '99, December of '99. Then the next one that I can recall was when I was with Daryl, and it was this time of year in 2011, so 15 years ago. And it was very similar to the storm that we just had. Uh, I don't think we ever lost power, but it was sleet that came through first, and then snow, significant amount, enough for me to call into work a day or two. But I lived in a different town then, and I had a longer distance to drive to my job. And Daryl basically forbade me to. Um, he wasn't gonna let me out of the house to drive on those roads. Whereas now, the difference now is I live closer to my job. I'm only like a couple miles down the road, if that. And they do have the main road plowed over here that goes down Depot Hill to the train station. Um, Even though I didn't want to go that direction today, it turned out to not be too bad. And it got me onto a plowed road. Whereas when I came home tonight, I came home through the neighborhood street that brings me around and up this way so I can back in. Because I prefer to back my car in. And I was able to basically back in to where I'd been previously, even with all that snow. My neighbors hadn't gotten out today. I came home and there's still snow on their vehicles. So I guess they just stayed in all day where it was nice and warm. And then the other neighbor lady, she still has snow on her car too. So it looks like I was the only one that had to get out today. But my car is the only one out there now without any snow on it. So at least when I go out tomorrow, I don't have to deal with getting snow off my car. I just have to deal with letting it heat up. Anyways, that's the day 25 of year one and what's going on with me. Just trying to stay as warm as I can and um, chill as I can and pretty much happy and satisfied as I can, Take life one day at a time because that's all we got anyway, right? And appreciate all the things that, come to me when they come to me, like those stickers. Just something else I can add to my collection and uh, be grateful for, you know? Peace, love, hugs, nugs. Till the next time, I'm out.